Alright, hello and welcome to the Devstream 85 breakdown. So, we got a good amount of stuff to talk about today, so let's just get right into it. So first of all, we're going to be finally getting the Valkyr animation this month. That's the, narrated with Balos and all that, so that we get some lore behind Valkyr Prime. Maybe answer some questions as to why she looks more like regular Valkyr than Drasemi Valkyr. That stuff should be nice, so we'll be getting that, which I'm very excited for because I do very much like Valkyr. And then, moving on, we got some talk about the Helmet Charger and how that's going to be getting an art overhaul. So they showed some, really rough concepts for that stuff that's not really worth showing here because it's probably going to come out pretty different. But they did say that we're probably also going to be getting a Charger skin. So if you do want to look how it looks right now, that's probably going to continue to be an option for you. But it will be getting a basic art overhaul, which is really nice. Now all they need to do is put vacuum on it so that I ever have a reason in my entire life to use it. Or more accurately, they should put vacuum on Warframes. But whatever. Moving on, we can talk about the HEMA. So this has been kind of like the community hot topic for a while. The HEMA's crazy mutagen costs. And those of you that watch my HEMA Why Would You Use, you know how I feel about that situation. But they'll be leaving that as is, which is a little unfortunate. I understand that they want it to be like, oh, the people who have already done this and researched this, they don't want to feel like they got shafted and having to go farm for it, which is fine. But they did also say that they're going to be trying to put mutagens in more places outside of just the derelict, essentially. And maybe my suggestion for that would be to have mutagen be in all of the dark sectors. All of the dark sectors are infested, so it kind of makes sense for you to be able to get mutagen there. So that would put a lot more areas to farm that stuff, so you could really actually mix it up whenever you want to. And it would make it so that earlier on players could help contribute to that. And that might not be such a huge concern, but them being able to get the samples at all is important. So that stuff's cool. Hopefully that goes in sooner rather than later to alleviate some of the people who still need thousands upon tens of thousands of that stuff for their larger clans, because it's been unfortunate. Moving on, though, we got to talk about the cysts. So here's the deal with the cysts right now. For those of you that don't know, you get infected as Nidus, and Nidus can infect all the other Warframes, and you have this big, shitty, pink cyst on your Warframe's neck that ruins how most of them look, and it's real unfortunate, but next week we're going to be able to cure our Warframes of it, but here's the catch. In order to cure it, you need to have a fully grown cyst on your Warframe. So those of you that are like me and have been shelving your Warframe and being just hide them away and don't let them near other Warframes so that they never get infected. What you're going to want to do now is you want to infect all of your Warframes that you want to cure. Because once you cure them, they're going to be immune. You're going to just be able to walk into Helmet's room and just do the animation to get rid of it, and then you'll be cured unless you go back in and get reinfected with it, which will be part of a future system. So there's that stuff. And then beyond all that, there's something I'd like to note personally. Because those things are going to be a part of a future system, if you are like me and you keep all of the Warframes, like I have Ember Prime and I've kept regular Ember, the thing that I might suggest is if you're not going to use those regular Warframes and don't really care so much about how they look, if you have them, infect them, because you can use them as kind of like a stockpiled petri dish for all of just having those cysts around. And then you just, whenever that system gets in place, if those cysts become important, then you'll already have them fully grown. So that might be my suggestion for kind of future-proofing yourself a little bit. So, that's probably what I'm going to do. It seemed like a good plan to me. Anyway, they talked a little bit about the tile set remasters that have been upcoming. Because Steve recently was replaying through the tutorial and stuff and seeing a lot of Earth, I think that's why he chose Earth. So Earth is up for that remaster now, and they showed some kind of works in progress of that, adding a lot more vegetation, a lot better lighting, all of those things. I misspelled volumetric. That's going to bug me forever now. And all that stuff. So making Earth look a lot better impression for new players, that kind of thing, So that should be really cool. Maybe make it a little fresher to play on Earth, I guess. Since it's right now kind of barren like a lot of other tile sets are. Moving on from that, though, we got some Bard talk. So basically, everything about the Bard was scrapped and restarted. Besides the step sequencer that's going to be going in so that players can make their own music, we learned that the idols that the Bard frame is going to have on the Bard will sync up to the beat that you set, which is weird, but I appreciate it. And we found out that all of her powers are apparently Vauban-like deployables, so she might be a lot weirder than I initially thought that she was going to be, because my initial thought on the Warframe was that she was going to be very Lucio-like, in that she would just have a lot of AoEs coming out of her. But if she can actually set down deployables and stuff, it'll be kind of interesting to see how that stuff all works together. Because it could be really, really cool. And like how a lot of people have been saying that Nidus is like the good version of Oberon, a part of me feels like the Bard may end up being like a better version of Vauban somehow, which I'm very much into. Or like a better support version of Vauban. Maybe like the baby of Vauban in Trinity somehow. I don't know. Could be. I'm excited for it one way or another, even though I don't think the Bard is going to personally be my style. And then moving on to much bigger announcements. TennoCon. So, TennoCon is on July 8th this year, so get ready for it. I don't think tickets and stuff are on sale yet, but they will be probably relatively soon. So be prepared for that stuff. It should be really cool. It was amazing last year, meeting you guys, all that stuff, or meeting some of you, of course, was really, really awesome, and I will do my absolute best to be there. In fact, if I'm not there, something has gone horribly wrong in my life, so expect me there. And I'm really excited to meet more of you guys, and just in general hang out with a lot of the other content creators and stuff. Had some really good conversations with AGGP last time I was there, and a lot of the kind of behind-the-scenes dev team and stuff, and big announcements, you know, the deal. But it should be great, so I'm very excited for that stuff. And then moving on, we got the Frost Deluxe skin, so just look at this. Just look at it. That's next week. That and the sword skin that will be coming with him are next week, and oh man, I need it. He looks like he's about ready to punch God. Like, that looks like what's going on here, and oh, I'm into it. It's good. It's real good. Also, the cloth, his like cape type stuff does all have physics going into it, so we don't have to worry about a weight on any of that stuff. And possibly my only concern with this skin is how the other helmets are going to fit on his Atlas-like head torso scenario. So, otherwise, he looks fucking great, and I cannot wait to have that and use that. And I really want to see what his sword looks like, because if we got a really good single sword skin, it might reinvigorate my love for the Broken War. So, that'll be some good business. I need that in my life right now. Moving on from that, though, we got to talk about the Sentient Super Weapon. So, they just showed this on stream. This is the finished model for the Sentient Super Weapon, the like left arm takeover weapon. And they talked very vaguely about some of the like skill to damage output type options they want to put into this system. And it looks really cool. And it's surprisingly, I don't think it's going to be tied to any like big cinematic quest or anything like that, which I thought it might be for fucking obvious reasons. I mean, just look at it. So that could be really, really cool how they kind of add another focus-like system, but maybe in more of a focused, like, transformation type way. And speaking of transformations, if this thing doesn't have a henshin, DE has fucked up. Like, it's just plain and simple. Like, it doesn't have to be a required henshin. It can be like a skippable, but if there's not a henshin for this, like, you fucked up. Like, it's just plain and simple. If there's no henshin animation, you completely fucked it. And like not completely, but man, it's perfect for it. It needs it. You gotta do it. There's no two ways about this. It needs a henshin animation. That's all I'm saying. So I'm very excited for that, because it looks great. And then finally, we got a big change that is interesting, but also I don't know how much this was needed. But I like it because it makes nullifiers more interesting in general. So basically, they're going to have this little osprey-looking little piece that comes out of their backpack when their bubble powers up. And it's going to float on top of their bubble, and if you shoot it, their bubble will burst. So that makes it so that highly accurate weapons that don't have like super high fire rates, can actually fight nullifiers in an effective way. Most notably sniper rifles, of course, which have been the huge complaint for a very long time. So this makes nullifiers have like a hard counter in multiple ways, with the more high accuracy weapons requiring more obvious skill to do that, but that's fine, and that's kind of how it should be. So me personally, I'm pretty excited for that to go in, because it looks neat. I think like making enemies more interesting and having more ways to counter them for various playstyles is important. And I don't think, while I personally don't think that nullifiers were the first ones that I probably would have chosen to get some of this stuff, I probably would have chosen, like, say, Juggernauts or Scrambus and Combus, which are really annoying enemies that really need to be patched up, in my opinion. But nullifiers is the one that people see more, and they have to deal with more, so it makes sense that they would do this first, because the complaints come in a lot about these guys, even if I think some of them are kind of not reasonable. But yeah, that's the Devstream. Pretty good for the first of the year. Pretty solid. I enjoyed it. I can't wait. I need this. I need that in my life. That's gonna no doubt prompt a Frost builds video, like a kind of re-up of that. I'm probably gonna throw some more foreman to Frost, things like that. So be prepared for all that stuff, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.